She's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Today we have a special guest that's going to help us get through some solutions. We spoke last week on the show about how social media affects young people, but really affects everybody in today's society. And so I brought on the expert, Donye Taylor, in the building with us today. I have to give her a very, very formal introduction. Donye Taylor is a cultural marketing genius. I love the way that sounds. Her knowledge of consumer psychology, influencer marketing, social media, and design allows her to ideate and produce effective strategies for her clients. She is most known for her unique perspective as it relates to marketing and her ability to break down and analyze brands, my favorite part of your page. Some of her consulting clients include technology, e-commerce, consumer products, and the entertainment industry, of course. And Donye, yes. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You're one of those people that I stalk on Instagram. I love your Instagram so much. And just as of recent, you've been really dropping some bars on there about taking care of yourself, not allowing social media to pressure you out of really like getting to the next step. It's not so much like taking a break from social media, but it's like embracing it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask you first, what made you, because you do a newsletter, what made you start changing the conversation to that?
Well, I first started my newsletter, I would say back in, I think it was August of last year. I think it was like Instagram had went down or something. And I was like everybody that I kind of reach out to or like have in contact with is majority on Instagram. But if Instagram were to shut down, I wouldn't have access to my audience. So I'm like, I need to figure out a way to own my audience, so no matter what, I can talk to them, whatever. So that's what made me start a newsletter. And I was having a really hard time struggling with like topics, and I was like, wait a second, why don't I just talk about my life, things that happened in my life. So what inspired this newsletter, it drops on the 20th, was I went viral on TikTok like 2 weeks ago for doing some random that I didn't even like anticipate. Wait, I can cuss on here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We usually press the button.
Okay. I'll monitor. Okay. So I went live. I went viral for doing something like extremely random that I didn't even anticipate for it to get like that big. I was basically like showing what Black girls do when they eat.
I saw that talk.
And it went nuts. And I'm looking at, like my notification. I'm like, oh my gosh, like all these people are following me. And then I kind of hit this ceiling because wait a second. Everybody's following me, expecting me to create this type of content again, but it's like, I'm not a comedian. Like, I don't do skits. Like, that's not who I am. But subconsciously, I felt pressured to do it because it's like you have all these people following you, the expectation. So then I made like another post thinking that, like another post similar to that, thinking it was going to do the same, and it didn't. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, so then it kind of made me think about like all of the people that probably feel the same way.
That don't know what people want from them on the internet.
I mean, but that's how social media is designed. Like, they want you to be on the app as much as possible. If it was super formulaic, you wouldn't spend that much time on the app. So it's like a psychology thing. Like, they want you to kind of be like addicted and to chase this high of getting or going viral, but it's actually a wicked cycle, especially if you are a creative and you're using social media to kind of drive revenue for your business. So
I like that terminology, wicked cycle.
Yeah, it is.
So I guess what happened after, what was that switch after you realized that, okay, cool, I'm going to do something again and it didn't work? Mm-hmm. What was that switch for you in your mind? Did you just keep going or?
No. So my social strategy and just like my strategy as a person isn't like rooted in trends, or it's like rooted in what I like, and that doesn't change, you know, like unless I change, like unless it's a really drastic change. So, something that's always me is, marketing, just anything that's under the cool umbrella. It's not skits. It's not being a comedian. You know what I mean? So I just went back to what it was that I like. And I was like, I can do this consistently. And this is fueling like my cup and filling my cup as a person. So it's like, regardless if people don't like it, I like it. And that's enough. So I just went back to what I was always doing. So
look, we're going to get into some music.
Well said.
And then Donye's going to help me and Justice figure out how to fill our cups on TikTok because we need help.
Y'all.
We need some work on our TikToks.
I got y'all.
Love Renaissance Radio, SiriusXM The Heat. We'll be right back.
Yes. I think this conversation, like I feel like people talk about mental health in general, but I think people always leave the social media part of it out, which is crazy because people are on it so much.
I think that it's a thing that affects, we always talk about young kids, but I'm not gonna lie, like it still affects my grown self at this big age, just like overthinking now about like, oh well, I can't do what I was doing when I was 21, or does anybody care about these pictures, or oh, somebody at work is gonna see this and they're gonna think I'm being pretentious, and all these questions that you're asking yourself instead of just like doing what you want to do or what makes you feel good. And I'm trying to figure out where the shift happened, because I did not used to care about stuff like that,
I think
at all.
I'm kind of approaching that shift too, but I think it's because, like you said, like you are, like you have like a really powerful role, and you know that people look to you, so it's like all this pressure on you to be a certain way or to be what people expect you to be. And then you see other people on social media that are in like your field, and it's like, wow, like they're kind of not doing what I'm doing. Like, am I like an outcast? But I stopped looking at social media like as like a perception builder. It's more so like a way to express what I think about myself. You know what I mean? Like
that's a bar.
Oh, thank you.
We love that. Okay, great.
Yeah, I don't look at it as a way to like get people to like think of me a certain way. It's like, this is just another tool that I can use to express myself. Like some people use music, some people use painting, exercise. I use social media as a way to express myself. So it's like whatever I'm feeling, that is just what I'm going to get. I mean, I'm going to give to people, and that's what they're going to get. And I don't really care about what other people are doing or trends. Because I used to be there. I used to feel like, oh my gosh, I have to take a picture of this to make it look like I'm busy, or make it look like I got money, or make it look like this and that. It's always going to be another level. It's always going to be something that you're going to try to prove, but you can't live your life like that, because you're never going to be happy. You're always going to have anxiety. You're always going to look at other people's posts and be like, oh my gosh, like I want to do that. Like you can't do that.
So I mean, obviously everything you're saying is completely factual, but what do you say for people that necessarily have made or have put their business on social media, like as in they make money by posting on social media, right? So if your job is based on social media and that's how you feed your family, but obviously it's not healthy for any and everybody to have to post 3-4 times a day, care about what's gonna go viral, care about what the strategy is, and still make it out alive.
Yeah.
So like, I guess what would you say your advice is to people that have built their business on social media, like influencers or like sorry, go ahead.
It's this girl named Alyssa Ashley that I followed for a while. She started out doing like beauty, then she pivoted into fitness, and a lot of the fitness girls was like, oh my God, you can't be a fitness girl because you're a beauty girl. And the beauty girls are like, oh my God, why are you leaving us to go do fitness? She was like, yo, I'm a real person and my interests have changed. Like, so, but I really liked how she communicated that like, yo, like I know y'all know me for this, but I'm going off into this. So it's like, if you are a person that makes money off of social media and you feel like your strategy that you have is like very like anxiety inducing, then I think, you know, you can communicate that to your audience, because your audience is your bread and butter. Like if they are not connected to you, then you're not going to make money, but you can still communicate. I think everybody goes through those like natural changes, and I think when people are transparent and communicate, it makes it be like, oh shit, like this person's a real person, and I think it's actually better. So I would just tell people to communicate whatever shifts or pivots that they want to make and just go from there.
I love that. Interesting though, but like watching like different social media platforms and watching them understand the psychology of it. So like starting with MySpace, and then like, you know, it wasn't as addictive in the
MySpace
space
was
of
about your friends,
right? It was literally about your cult, right? And then it went to Facebook, and then it went to Twitter, and then Instagram, which was I feel like was like the smash of it all, right?
Yeah.
Where they figured out how to get people addicted, and now we were like, yo, it can't go any further than Instagram, right? But then it's TikTok. But then you realize because TikTok is playing for something different. TikTok is playing to give people the ability to feel like they can go viral, right? Like,
yes.
you know, this like the Andy Warhol approach, right? Like, you can get your 5 minutes of fame if you have a TikTok and if you constantly post.
I like what TikTok is about in a couple of different ways, though.
Me too.
Because as I play around with it, a couple of my favorite things. The stranger love is real.
Yes.
On Instagram, you do not get stranger love.
Oh my gosh, strangers love you on TikTok. Yes.
If you do something on TikTok, people that don't know you and they follow you, they don't just go, I like this, bye. They go, I like that one video this person did. Let me see what else they're gonna do. I'm gonna follow them now. They're not worried about their follower count or like, oh, the ratio like we've been on Instagram. They like one thing that you do, they follow you. I like that. People are very nice. The community, you post a video and they're like, oh,
well, you're in the good pocket.
Yeah, you're in the good pocket.
You're in the good pocket.
I'm looking at other people's Instagrams too. Of TikToks. Like, I feel like people are a lot more in comments that I see. I feel like people are a lot more uplifting on TikTok.
Yeah, I will say that.
Than they are just like cyberbullying on Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram's become like a little bit of a nasty place to me.
Yeah.
Not on my page, but I see it. And TikTok, you just copy and paste. It's not always about having the most original content. Someone else does something and it's okay for you to just try what that other person did. And that takes a lot of pressure off for me of trying, like, I'm not trying to be funny. Like you said, I'm not a comedian, but if I see somebody play a game and I'm like, oh, I can play that game too, you make a video.
But that's like the monkey see, monkey do effect.
I'm
because,
the monkey.
You know, I don't think TikTok, you don't really see a lot of like blogs or like negative stuff in general. So it's like you're automatically going to want to create what it is that you see. So I think you're seeing a lot more happy content as well. So
like happy content for them. How can they just embrace the idea of making healthier content or taking care of themselves better while they're doing what they do?
I think that you really have to just stop thinking about vanity metrics and correlating vanity metrics to your success. Like, it's times where I may do a post and it flops in the next 24 hours. But, you know, it's somebody else that may see that 2 weeks from now. Like, oh my God, I really like that. I remember it was this guy, I don't remember his name, but Meek Mill used his beat. But he was doing beats like in like the backseat of a car for like years. 200 views, 200 views, 100 views. And then it was like that one video that he did was the one that like Meek Mill saw and it was like his career was over. But I mean, not over, but like it started. Like it's like, imagine if he would have stopped a year ago because he wasn't getting 1 million views or 1,000 views. So it's like you really have to create just to create and not create because you want a bunch of people to see it. Like eventually people will. So that's what I would say. Like don't create to get likes.
You bodied that answer.
Yeah. You thought I had jargon, vanity
jargon.
metrics,
it's nuts.
And correlations.
Yeah,
y'all gotta stop talking about me. While we're on that topic though, about somebody being able to be consistent, I think for new creators, the hardest thing, and you know, I talk to you about it all the time, is identifying what your niche is, and do you have to have one?
I actually just did a post where I was talking about, you know, like when people try to tell you need to be doing one specific thing in order to be successful. I don't think that that's true. Like, especially with where we're at now, just as a society, there's so many people that are multifaceted. I hate that word, but that's just is what it is. But there's so many people that do so many different things. And I think, you know, neglecting the things that are a part of you, I think is bad for your mental health. So I think embracing all of the different layers of who you are, I think makes it easier to approach social media because now you're not thinking, oh wow, I can't post this because this isn't me. Whatever is you. And it's like people are going to follow you for that. You would rather have people following you for everything that you are instead of having people following you for something that you're not. So it takes off the pressure when you're just exposing all your layers.
Love Renaissance Radio. SiriusXM The Heat.
Black Bobby Brown, even though Bobby Brown's already black.
I can only imagine what your girlfriend has to deal with moving in with you.
Love Renaissance.
Hell on earth.